Okay, I gotta tell you about this movie I just saw. It's called The Treasure Planet, and before you say anything, no, it's not the Disney film that's like one of their biggest box office bombs. The one I'm talking about is The Treasure Planet, a 1982 Bulgarian movie that's actually very similar to Disney's as a sci-fi animated film adaptation of Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. It's not hard to find, actually. Just search it on YouTube and boom, you got the whole movie there. And one thing I could say about it right now,
it's just one piece of madness after another, just like one at a time. You think oh my god, wow.
It nearly broke me. In fact, this was the closest that an animated film ever did to completely breaking me and have me lose all of my sanity. Now, I sat through some of the worst animated films in existence, but this one is truly one of a kind. A film that's on a league of its own when it comes to the, quality that it delivers. It's so weird and uniquely insane that I just can't let my experience sit there and let it simmer in my head. I need to let out what I've just witnessed if I ever want to collect some of my sanity back. But I'm not here to give you a summary. That's kind of impossible. Instead, I'm gonna give you 5 of the craziest moments that should give you a good idea of how this is the movie equivalent of a science experiment gotten horribly wrong. I know I could have just easily point to everything and just say, this movie 5 times, but to do this properly, we'll have to go through more circles of hell than Dante. I'm Animat, and these are the top 5 reasons why The Treasure Planet broke me.
We got cabin fever, we're flipping our bandanas. Been stuck at sea so long that we have simply gone bananas.
Let me start off with a couple of its main issues. Not only is this the kind of film where you have no choice but to expect the unexpected, but this animation... Oh boy, this animation! The best way to describe it is that everything is so janky. On top of those crude designs, everybody moves like those malfunctioning robots in cartoons that vigorously shake everywhere before they explode. Except this movie does it for about an hour before it blows up. Even something as simple as a walk cycle can make one uncomfortable with how they move. So with that said, imagine that you're 20 minutes in. Commander Smollett calls to assemble the crew, and the movie suddenly thinks, you know what? This is a good time for a musical number.
Pirates, 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 ay doko din, isa na yan. Pirates, 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 ay doko din, isa na yan.
I don't know why it suddenly felt like playing the samba and having the shipmates wiggle around in a way that I think it calls this dancing, but maybe the film was bored and got distracted. It's the kind that often would, after all. At the most, the only explanation I could find for this moment was a few minutes afterwards when Long John Silver meets up with them and says,
"We're approaching a magnetic storm. I know that can be rough on biorobots, but I'll make a few adjustments in your circuitry and you'll be okay."
Okay, guess that kinda makes sense, but just before you said that, the crew already presented a quick example of them acting loony. Why this random dance number that came out of nowhere? Why are you trying to do something that's beyond this animation's capabilities? Why have this when it serves no purpose to the story? Actually, scratch that last part. It's not fair to criticize that because, well, that's most of this movie. So about 3/4 of the way in, Smollett and Philippe are real close to the treasure, but now have to face one big obstacle before claiming it.
Don't be alarmed by anything you see, Philippe. They're only optical illusions. They're 3D holographs set up to scare us away from the treasure.
Buddy, if you really want to scare people away from the treasure, just put it behind a big screen that's showing the treasure planet. Not even Homeland Security can offer you better protection than that. But seriously, illusions? In this film? This whole movie already feels like a drug-enhanced illusion. I dread to think what would be considered an illusion in this. Actually, they're not that bad. The illusions are just demon creatures from hell if they were designed like Halloween decorations from the dollar store. But then suddenly, this happens. Oh no! Oh no 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 No. Don't tell me that it's trying to do something sexy. No, not this. I don't care if it's an illusion or not. This movie does not have the caliber of creating anything that's supposed to be lustfully enticing. Not with this animation. It's the same feeling as watching that Cats movie. It's obviously horny, but there's nothing that's visually helping the viewer to get the same feeling. Look, there's a time and place to get aroused by hot women, but you don't get that by watching The Treasure Planet! As the Hispaniola sets off on her maiden voyage, the ship proudly carries the crew that are on the hunt for the ultimate Oh my god, the whole ship is on fire! Somebody do something! Somebody go and... Wait, what is happening? What the... Did you guys change or something?
Your name is Jim Hawkins.
Oh, Hawkins. And you?
I'm Captain Smollett of the Hispaniola, and you're my cabin boy. Of Treasure Island fame. By Robert Louis Stevenson.
What? Treasure Island fame?
The magnetic storm has thrown us back through the fourth
No. Don't try to explain what happened. Tell me how you know Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Look, I know that being self-referential in film adaptations is nothing new, but what he's implying is that not only that the book exists in this world, but Smollett is quite familiar with it. If that's the case, then shouldn't he find this voyage to be very coincidental? Or at least give him a hint to not bring on board suspicious members like one that's literally called Long John Silver to avoid getting screwed over several times? Okay, fine. They're in the 17th century now. So, do they get to go and fight real pirates or something? No. How about sword fighting these weird alien monsters? We're still in a sci-fi world after all. But how do they get out of this Robert Louis Stevenson world? Oh, they just do. Run the animation backwards and everything's back to normal. And no, this moment never gets mentioned ever again, as you'd expect from a movie like this. At this point, you probably got a good idea of the animation's, quality. Like I said, it's uniquely bad in ways that are not easy to explain. It's one of those show don't tell kind of cases to get a full grasp of what I mean, which is why I made this in the first place. But you might be wondering, if you ever want to show just one clip to people to prominently present the movie's insanity, what would you show? Oh, have I got the perfect clip for you! Behold, the confrontation of Billy Bones and Black Dog. You've seen it try to dance, you've seen it try to be sexy, but now it's time to see it try its hands on cartoon comedy. Here is where you find the crazy at its craziest, the janky at its jankiest, and learn that when it comes to quality and proper filmmaking,
they're only optical illusions.
Be amazed at the unpredictable ways Billy Bones tries to escape Black Dog from giving him the map and receiving the black spot. Which, I'll be very honest, the conclusion is unironically funny.
Don't be foolish. Statues can't be ticklish.
Oh, I'll bet your hand is ticklish.
I'm not ticklish. See? Oh no.
I think what also makes this part so hilarious is that throughout their whole chase, they both keep this bored look on their faces as they keep shaking and stretching each other out. Even when Black Dog was handed a bomb, he acted like he got the wrong order at McDonald's.
All right, Black Dog. Here's your cursed treasure map.
This is a bomb.
That's right.
I didn't ask you for a bomb, Billy.
And you know what's the craziest part of this? This moment happens at the beginning of the film, at like the 5-minute mark. If you watch this and arrive at this scene, this is the movie telling you, this is what you're in for. Welcome to the point of no return. Now strap in because this thing is about to hit 88 miles per hour and you're gonna see some serious Doc Browns. If there's one thing I will confess that is actually clever in this film, it's the treasure itself.
Inside this container are no diamonds, no platinum, gold, or silver, but something far more precious. It is a modern Noah's Ark. When nature began to die and give way to concrete and steel, Flint gathered up all the natural wonders of Earth, distilled them, and sealed them inside this great artificial jewel.
Okay, so this is actually a dystopian sci-fi adaptation of Treasure Island with a message of environmentalism? Kind of last minute, but honestly, that's a pretty cool idea. But I still wasted an hour's worth of my time losing my sanity to this film, so these guys don't get a happy ending. Let's bring Silver back so that he can literally burn everything to the ground. There should never be a sequel to this, so let's not take any risks by killing them all and let the fire take care of the rest. Pretty dark ending, right? Well, that's not how it truly ends. After going through all that and your brain is left to mush, the movie saved its best piece of madness for last. Are you ready? Unleash the treasure! The planet is saved! The lava took out all the industrial and artificial in favor of the natural, with plants, weirdly drawn animals, and trolls with shorts coming down in parachutes, and a black-faced band playing Ode to Joy. Because in a movie with no decency, why be surprised that it's also racist? But to top this all off, the one who can stand out among the crowd to make the randomness complete, Mickey Mouse. Yep, this movie risked a copyright lawsuit to have Mickey Mouse unexpectedly come down from a parachute so that he could join this new paradise and make his own treasure planet and lose $74 million in the process. And even after all that, after watching the weirdest adaptation of Treasure Island in existence and analyzing the most bizarre moments of the feature, it still begs the question, what the fridge did I just watch?
I didn't ask you for a bomb, Billy.